Also 911, where's your emergency? Quick! Hey, what's going on? Hello? Did my baby's about to stab my baby? Come here quick! How old is she? Is she bleeding? She look like she's dead. She bleeds dead. Is she breathing? No.
A 16-year-old girl is found dead in her grandparents' home. Marlisa Wells was born in 1991.
Marlisa she was a beautiful young lady. She was very beautiful. She's always had an infectious smile, a really beautiful, bright smile. This is the first time I really actually, in a long time, sat here and actually looked at her, at these pictures, because they're up in the house. But, you know, it's hard to sit and just actually look one by one at her, knowing that she's not here. Pure and innocent, sheer beauty. Because it's difficult at home. It's very difficult.
When she was a teenager, she went to live with her grandparents and was living with them at the time of her death. Marlisa's grandparents were more strict, religious, and into education. They just wanted the best for her, and she seemed to enjoy living with them. Marlisa was very good at singing, and her mom, Erica, said she had a big smile. On January 19, 2008, Marlisa's grandfather called the police. He told the dispatcher that someone had broken into their house. Natalie Polk and Jesse Evans started working on this case. They had no idea that the crime scene would be one of the worst they had ever seen. There was no sign of forced entry, but a sliding back door was slightly open. The attack had started in the kitchen, and a knife drawer had been rifled through. There was a blood trail leading from the kitchen to the basement bathroom. There was a small amount of blood on the banister and stairs leading to the basement. Marlisa had been stabbed about 60 times and had multiple blunt force injuries and skull fractures to the head. As if Marlisa hadn't been through enough, a bent fork was found in her bag. In a garbage can in the bathroom, the police found several bloody knives. They were collected and sent in for testing. The police spoke to several neighbors. One neighbor said they thought that they had seen a green car driven by a black male in the neighborhood. However, this turned out to be a dead end. Another neighbor said they had seen Marlisa sneaking a boy into her grandparents' house. The neighbor knew that Marlisa wasn't allowed to date, so she definitely wouldn't have been allowed to have boys over. The police spoke to Marlisa's closest friend, Sarah, who revealed that Marlisa spoke about a boy named Matthew Wilkins. Sarah said she had never met Matthew, but Marlisa often told her about her future plans with Matthew.
Marlisa's relationship with Matthew was kind of confusing. She would speak highly of him, but nobody I knew him. He was definitely a mystery man. Her grandparents had spoken to her many a times about her not being in a relationship and how they disapproved of it, so for her to hide the relationship makes plenty of sense.
Matthew Wilkins was 19-year-old at the time and was attending college. Matthew was a very good basketball player and came from a good family. He was a very popular guy. Marlisa and Matthew stayed in frequent contact, and she was doing anything she could to keep Matthew. However, he also had another girlfriend who eventually broke up with him after finding out about Marlisa. The police looked into Marlisa's phone records. They also looked for her cell phone, but didn't find it in her belongings. They came to the conclusion that whoever had killed her had probably taken it. Marlisa's phone records revealed that she and Matthew had been in contact almost every day up until the day she was killed. The police went to speak to Matthew. Instead of being in his dorm room, he was actually in town at his childhood home. A search warrant was obtained. The police eventually found some clothing and sneakers behind the furnace. It didn't seem like the clothing or shoes had blood on them, but they were sent in for testing. The police learned from Marlisa's brother that Marlisa was being threatened by Matthew. He had overheard a phone conversation and had discovered some threats on social media. The police spoke to Sarah again. She revealed that Marlisa had told her she was pregnant and wanted to keep the baby. Marlisa had invited Matthew over to her house on January 19, while her grandparents were out. Sarah said she found out that Marlisa was killed by another friend at school the following week. Sarah said she did a Google search about what happened and really wished she wouldn't have seen the details. The police didn't have any evidence against Matthew until the testing on the sneakers revealed that there were spots of Marlisa's blood on them. Matthew Wilkins was arrested and charged with murder. It's believed that Matthew went into a rage after Marlisa told him that she was pregnant and thought it was ruining his new life in college. At trial, the prosecution revealed that Matthew and Marlisa had sex on the day of her murder. He then brutally attacked and killed her. Marlisa had thought she was pregnant, but she wasn't. He was sentenced to life plus 20 years in prison. Marlisa was 16 and obviously had overheels in love with her first love. Marlisa believed she was pregnant and she thought Matthew would want to start a family with her. But he saw that a baby would ruin his basketball career and his chances to date other girls. So, young agents, write down what you think about this case. Thank you and see you in the next episode. Bye.